Next question from Mike Mulhern.
Upside down. Mike Mulhern from MikeMulhern.net. Tony, for the last 2 months, we've had a lot of gas mileage races. It seems like almost every week, every other week, we've had those things. I'm sort of baffled. This is boys have at it. What's going on? What's the dynamic that brings all these gas mileage races into the equation?
Well, it's just track position. It forces you to do things that you normally wouldn't do, take two or stay out on fuel and gamble. You know, it's the reason we came to it today because we knew if we pitted like when the 14 and those guys did, that we were only going to be as good, and there was going to be 2 or 3 guys that stayed out, like the 2 car did at Kansas. Somebody's going to stay out and roll the dice on fuel mileage and win it. So, you know, Ryan, he's on me all the time. He's like, dude, we're going to have to, you know, we got to have to grow some here, and we're going to have to win a race, and the way to win it is to stay out. So, he's backed us 110% no matter what. We make a decision, he's behind us, right or wrong, and you know, it's the thing you have to do. That's the way racing is today.
Why so many gas mileage races the last 2 months?
Because we still carry fuel in the car. That's the only way we can go
forward.
I
don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why it's a fuel mileage deal. I think, you know, maybe because the tires are better. You know, the tires don't give up as much as they used to give up. So you can stay out longer, and you're not giving up a whole lot of time by staying out on fuel. So a lot of these tracks, it's dictated by the tire more than anything.
Yeah, and that in respect to the tire, we've got to commend Goodyear on a great tire. I think we did 150 laps on our left sides the first time, and then 150 laps on our left sides the second time. And 75, I think about 75 each on the rights every time. So a great Goodyear tire. It's a catch-22 and we always say it. We ask for a tire that'll be safe and fall off, and then there's a reward to put 4 tires on so you can drive back to the front. And it's tough to do that and make it safe and make it so it doesn't blow out, you know, for the guys that aren't handling well or for the guys that don't have the technology and the things to understand about the tires. So, you know, there's a lot of demand on Goodyear, but because they've been building tires that are safer, I think we've seen better, safer tires throughout the entire season. Therefore, you're seeing more strategy in respect to fuel because fuel is more of an issue than the tires are.
Jim
Uttershaw for Ryan and even Tony, if you'd like to answer. The first half of the season, both you and Tony have been kind of up and down, but pretty much within the top 10, 12 of points. Does this win validate what you were already working on this year? Does it show something that you worked to get better? Or just how does it fit into your season so far this season?
This win's huge for us. I mean, it's the biggest thing. Our first one was special. 39, the number 39 had never been in victory lane in the Cup Series, and we chose that number because of me. So if you're a what's the word? No, if you're
Statistic guy.
No.
Superstitious?
Superstitious. If you're superstitious, then we've got a lot to fight against. That's polysyllabic, so it's hard for me to.
Whatever that means.
We had a lot to work towards for our first victory, but for us to get the U.S. Army in victory lane, that was a goal that we had way before the season ever started. For the soldiers, for our sponsor, for our team, for our organization, and like I said, the timing of it's perfect from a point standpoint, from a wild card standpoint with respect to the points. And, the whole sprint, summer shootout or summer showdown, whatever it is, where they're offering a lot of money to a driver and a foundation and a fan, that's a big deal, too, because we're a part of that now. So a lot of positives come out of today.
Does it show that you guys have been relatively on track, though?
I think so. Yeah, I think we started out really good, but I think we kind of got complacent there early, and we had some, Martinsville. We had this car at Martinsville, and I think that was our race to lose, and we had a header problem. But we lost it, but we kind of stumbled after that a little bit. But we have a good race team. We have a great driver. We have great sponsors. We know how good we can be. We just had to get our head straight and get there.
To add to that, we've been really good, and we've been really good for 3/4 of the race, and then we'll come home 4th, 5th, or come home 10th, and maybe not make the right call or the right strategy or whatever it is to put ourselves in that box of top 5 to close out the race. And there's been times where we've had failures, we've had bad pit stops. All those things kind of add up, and And today it all came together for us. We proved what we were capable of, and I said it in Victory Lane. We've been close several times. We just need to sit down as an organization and figure out why this weekend was so great, how to carry that over into the next 6, and then carry it into the last 10.
Next question from Seth.
Seth Livingstone, USA Today. This is for Tony and perhaps Gene. As on track as you guys have been, there's also been some upheaval, obviously, at the upper levels of the organization. What changes have you seen? What do you think the changes will be going forward? What does it mean?
Well, I think, the stuff that's happened is we're just trying to make our company better. We're just trying to make sure we had a pretty strong start in 2009, and the teams were working really close together, and we were doing a lot of the same things, and then we kind of got off track a little bit this year. So I think we're just trying to make sure that we head back in the right direction. It's like grab everybody by the arms and tug them and bring them in, and let's head back down that road, down one road instead of going 2 roads. So for us, it's not that one guy is doing a bad job or one guy did a bad job, or it's a matter of everybody doing a good job, and that's what we're trying to do. We haven't fixed our problem 100%. We're on the way. We're building better race cars, and we're trying to make adjustments on pit crews and things that pit calls, fuel, things like this. We're trying to make our stuff better. Are we fixed it? Have we fixed it? No, but we're on the right track.
So is there any physical difference you've seen in the last month?
Just the biggest thing I've seen is the company as a whole pulling back together. We're one team now, and there for a while we were kind of maybe heading in 2 different directions, but we've kind of put our arms around it here in the last month or so and said, look guys, if we're going to get this done, we got to pull together as one big team, and that's the way we're going to make ourselves stronger. So that's kind of where we're at now. We haven't fixed it, but we're on our way.
Okay, next question from Dan.
Dan Gelson, the Associated Press. Ryan, you looked pretty emotional after the race. Who did you dedicate your race to?
A good friend of mine lost the battle of cancer. His name was Bo Slocum. He died in April, and I've been wearing a bracelet ever since. And I wanted to make sure that bracelet made me think about how tough life can be, and what it can throw to you, and it's sometimes to the best people that you could ever imagine. So that was something that was emotional to me, and it's hard to talk about it because I know his family, I know his wife, and it's tough. He was living with us, and to see some of the things that he went through, and to help him fight that battle, that was really tough for me.
Next question from Mike.
Tony, I'd like to give you a crack at this question. Given the demands that this place can place on a driver, why is yours so good here?
Look, there's no neck here. It's connected. He reminds me of Cale Yarbrough. He sits in the car and he's like this, and he's a physical guy. He gives you 150% every lap, whether we're 5 laps down, whether we're leading the lap, we're 10th, we're 5th. He's always mentally in the game. He's physically in the game. And like I said, like I told him last week, there's nobody I'd rather have in my race car with 10 to go if he can see the leader, because we've got a shot to win it. And he went from 7th to 4th in a lap. So we know when Ryan Newman is sitting in there, we have a shot. So the biggest thing he contributes is his driving ability, his mental ability, and to keep us headed in the right direction.
Any other questions from the media center? Okay, right here.
Ryan, you obviously had the fastest car today, and you won from the pole. The fuel conservation, it's something that obviously from, the obvious person thinks you just back off in the turns. From Australia, we come here to watch the race. Just talk maybe a little bit about how you actually do save the fuel in the car.
It's no different than in a passenger car. And if you got one of those little fuel calculators on your dash, just watch it and try to save fuel. And 2 ways you do that is to let off the gas and coast, and then the other way is to ease into the gas and not pick it up as hard when you're coming off the corner. So it's all about energy conservation. The less you use the brakes, those brakes are consuming energy. So the less you can use the brakes, the more you're saving fuel. And it's just it's a matter of having a good car and a good engine package, and the right balance and enough fuel to be able to make it all happen. And we did that today.
Ryan, one last question. Talk a little bit about the competition so far this season. You're the 13th different winner in 19 races. Last season, we had 13 different winners for the whole year. So talk a little bit about the competition so far this season.
It kind of goes along with what we were talking about earlier with the tires being better and different strategies. You saw Regan Smith get his first win by staying out on fuel and on old tires. So, there's been a different mentality, I guess, this year, which is kind of giving people a little bit more courage to make some of those calls to put themselves as a team in that position. So, I'm just proud. I don't really care about the first 12. I'm just proud to be the 13th, and we'll just, we'll try to carry on and try to keep it at 13.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, congratulations. Thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.